Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my esteemed colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Detroit Pistons going up against the Bulls out in Chicago. Looking at the Bulls, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. And let's talk for a moment about Derrick Rose. He's missed so much time the past several seasons with injuries. Kenny, is it too much to expect him to return to his former level, his MVP level?
Well, maybe not the MVP level, but he still can be a serviceable all-star, meaning he might not be able to dominate for 82 games, but he could do it for 40. And then he could do it for playoff time. So I do think the knee surgeries took a little toll on him, as they would any player, but I still think he has a lot left in the tank.
He might be able to get back to his MVP level, but that's going to take a full season. A full season of injury-free play to get that confidence back. Full season, Ernie, 82 games.
That does it for us. Kevin Harlan with the call, and we will see you later on.
It's the Eastern Conference on display featuring the Detroit Pistons. We're at the United Center. Chicago fans are cheering for their Bulls. Welcome to the NBA for this Friday afternoon broadcast. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. And it's going to be the Bulls off the tip. And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Jennings and Caldwell Pope in the backcourt. Ilyasova out there with Johnson. And it's Drummond in at the 5. Now here's Gasol. Rose kicks to Butler. Off target from three-point range. Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping. But I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx. But I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
And Dunleavy gets it to go in. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Ilyasova, screen on Butler. Jumper off the screen. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Here's Jennings. After Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. Here's Drummond. Noah with the block. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Noah. So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. And out of bounds is Chicago gains possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
So it's Chicago now. Now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Stan Van Gundy.
He said that their defensive focus, no surprise, will be trying to keep Derrick Rose out of the lane. He added, "You know he's come a long way as an outside shooter, but he's a pick-your-poison type of player. We can't let him get into the paint." Makes sense, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thanks. Now Jennings following the three-point attempt by Derrick Rose. Gasol with the steal. And here we go. Dunleavy heading to the hoop. And it's Butler with the jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
Well, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Now here's Jennings. to the inside. Here's Drummond. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And, guys, Andre Drummond has made quite an impression in the early stages of his career. Clark, you were just talking about that. Greg, I don't think anyone felt he would have such an impact this fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's already a mountain of a man among boys. I mean, hard to believe when you look at this guy out there. He's only 22 years old.
And he's good on the second.
Going back to Andre Drummond, some say there aren't any true centers entering the NBA these days. But I look at Andre, I look at DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and I think to myself, what are these people talking about?
Gasol. Another one falls for Chicago.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
Here's Caldwell Pope. Goes up on the block. Gasol with the rebound.
And talking about Andre Drummond, I remember when he fell to number 9 on draft day. All sorts of experts were making excuses as to why. But even then, there was this eerie feeling that some teams had made a huge mistake in passing on it. And that feeling turned out to be correct. And the story here, Kevin, early on, is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Watching Mike Dunleavy Jr., he's simply the mark of consistency. You know he's in his mid-30s, but you know exactly what you're going to get out of him every season. I think Tom Thibodeau, last year's Chicago coach, really admired that and loved it.
It's so funny watching Mike Dunleavy Jr. play. I remember when his dad coached me when I was with Portland, and he was a little kid running around, and all of a sudden he's become this great NBA player. But you're right, though. He's made himself into a valuable asset in terms of the role he's been given for the Bulls.
Jackson, that's good.
Guys, good job working it down low and getting the high percentage look there. That's good basketball.
Here's Chicago. They're on a 14-3 run. Rose attacking and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Talking about Dunleavy, boy, I tell you, he was playing at a high level already by his second season in the league. Practically every statistic across the board matches up since then. And that's over a decade later.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Joakim Noah. And McDermott subbed in for Dunleavy. Now here's Jackson. Johnson with a screen on Rose. Pass to Morris. Shot clock at 6. Morris a screen. It's Jackson with the drive. Excellent use of the screen that time.
And getting back to Dunleavy's consistency here in his later years, he's one of those guys who has really ramped up the nutrition. He's hitting the weight room. I could make the case that he was a tougher, better player last year, especially on defense, than at any other time in his career.
Pistons trail by 8. Here's Jackson. Johnson the screen. Jackson kicks to Morris. Here's Caldwell Pope. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
And it's Gibson finishing it off.
You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the lead they've jumped out to already. What a start.
Now here's Jackson. The feed now to Morris. Unloads. And that one hits back iron. The Bulls leading by 10. Rose kicks to Butler. Good looking screen by Gasol. Butler goes in off the pick. That's good from Gasol, and the assist by Butler. Gasol's got his second basket.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Now, here is Morris. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Bulls have gone 8 of 11 in the first quarter. They'll take that percentage any night. To the wing right side. Gibson against Morris. Gibson passes to McDermott. And that one's good.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Greg, it's hard to imagine they'll stay this hot for 4 quarters. But if they even approximate that, watch out.
Here's Jackson following the basket by Doug McDermott. Morris outside. Oh, good on the triple. The Bulls leading by 12. Rose with the ball. From 12 feet out. No luck. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Bulls lead by 12. From the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment. And the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened in NBA history. Pau talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to really picture it. I'm just proud to be Mark's brother, and I'm proud of what he's become as a basketball player and as a man.
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way 2 of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become 2 of the best centers in the NBA of this era.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers, who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And the Bulls guys have been rolling right along, haven't they?
You know, it's been about how solid they've been offensively here, really tuned in with one another.
Good ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And Detroit looking at who they've got. Jennings and Meeks in the backcourt. Andre Drummond is out there with Ilyasova. And it's Morris in at the 3 spot.
And the Pistons were a better team last season than they were in 2014. I mean, they still ended up bottom in the Central Division, but most of it was because of how strong the Central really was last season.
Now here's Drummond, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
And really just a lack of awareness on his part. Just no idea he was right near the line.
Here's Brooks. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Well, Greg, as you said, the Pistons were last in the Central Division last year. They had finished 4th each of the last 4 years before that, Clark.
And, you know, the Pistons actually had more wins last year coming in last than they did in any of the 4 seasons they finished 4th. I mean, just shows you how tough and improved the Central Division was last year.
Now, Meeks. After the missed 3 from Doug McDermott. The dish to Jennings. Ilyasova is screen on Butler. Here's Drummond. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. Jennings has got 3 assists in the game. The Bulls leading by 10. Brooks dishes to Butler. Kicks it to McDermott. He feeds it to Brooks. The pass to McDermott. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Butler on the way. He's guarded by Meeks. And it's Butler missing.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That is his first foul of the game. And guys, Brandon Jennings, some people love his chaotic game. Some can't stand it. One of the more polarizing talents in the NBA.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever shoot for an efficient percentage or become a lockdown defender, Kevin. He's an offensive catalyst. He pushes the action, and he'll go on scoring binges, but I think he does more good than bad with this style of play.
The Bulls making a switch here. Noah's checked in. And Ilyasova kicks to Jennings. Good on the shot, and that shaved the lead to single digits. Jennings has got his first points in this one.
And talking about Brandon Jennings, he has an endless bag of tricks. Keeping the ball literally on a string, makes behind the back, no look, and off the backboard passes few players would even try. That unpredictability, though, can make him difficult to check and often forces defenders into positions from which they can't recover.
Now here's Jennings. Aaron Brooks missing his last shot. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You know, Brandon Jennings is that rare type of difference maker, a guy who can jumpstart your offense without turning the ball over. That's a valuable asset when you're trying to line up the W's. And Marcus Morris is nicknamed Mook. He has a twin brother, older by 7 minutes, named Markeith. Both brothers played at Kansas, drafted 13th and 14th in the same year, eventually played for the same pro team. That is joined at the hip.
Now here's Brooks. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Butler on the way. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Andre Drummond picks one up. And looking at the Morris brothers' careers through last season, the one area they haven't been joined at the hip in is in performance. Markeith has shown steady improvement over his first 4 years. Marcus Morris has had a very up and down start to his career.
And you know, Kevin, Marcus has talent. He has versatility. He just hasn't found his role. It's time for him to step out of his brother's shadow and really establish who he is as a player.
And here is Brooks following Brandon Jennings' 3. Back to Brooks, beyond the arc. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Tit for tat right there, huh, guys?
Didn't take him long at all, fellas, to get those 3 points back.
Jennings sets the screen for Morris. It's Meeks outside. Another 3 for Detroit.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
So it's Chicago now, following the 3 by Detroit. Clock at 6. Brooks kicks to Mirotic. Good work defensively by Morris.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And guys, Brandon Jennings last season looked like he was finally becoming more efficient. He shot at the upper range of his career field goal percentage from 3 and the free throw line. And then suddenly the Achilles ended his season at 41 games played. Really unfortunate.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Brooks. And then for Detroit, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Ilyasova. Johnson comes in for Morris. And it's Jackson in for Jody Meeks. Getting back to Jennings last season really did start out as one of his best. Not just the improvement, Clark, and accuracy. His turnovers per game were at a career low.
Yeah, that's what we have to watch out for with Jennings. I mean, he's still only 26 years old, Kevin. Now, plenty of time to continue to refine and hone his game. I think his best basketball is in front of him.
Rose, that's good. And the Bulls lead by 5.
How about that move? You'll see very few players able to pull off. Just sensational stuff.
There's a good screen. Rose against Jennings. Passes it to Johnson. He dishes it to Baines.
2 minutes, 2-1.
And that one's good. Drummond. Drummond's got 6 in the quarter.
Yeah, just used his strength there to get the post position without much fight from the defense.
Yeah, I think he's got to do a much better job next time of just bodying up. Get some muscle into him.
Now here's Rose. Tries it from the top of the key. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Johnson outside. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. And now just a 1-point Bulls lead. And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
And guys, he's not the tallest or most imposing wing player, but Stanley Johnson has incredible strength and really unmatched confidence. One reason why so many were high on him in the draft.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He wants to see renewed effort from them on the offensive glass. He talked about the second chance points that are out there if they work for them. He was also adamant that they can take advantage of this defense with the use of solid ball screens and the pick and roll game. So, Kevin, change is already being made on the fly here in the second quarter.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Jackson following the score by Derrick Rose. Feeds it to Caldwell Pope. Lets it go from 14. No basket with that shot. Having trouble finding his range. He's 1 for 5. Dishes to Dunley. Gasol on the high post. Bulls moving the ball around. And he gets it to go. Now it's a 5-point Bulls lead.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Now here's Drummond. He's got 7 to the middle. Johnson inside. Defended by Dunleavy. Johnson can't hit.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
And so we wrap up the first half. It's Chicago. They're up by 7. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Pow, tell us what have been the key aspects to how this team is playing so far through the first 2 quarters.
Well, just had to be aggressive from the beginning, take the shots that were there, move the ball, we're being unselfish. We were defending better in the first quarter, and we were able to knock down the shots.
Pow, thank you for the time. Gentlemen, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Chicago holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They've got the 7-point lead. Shaq, what you think?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, there's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
Kenny, what'd you think about Detroit?
Well, they're facing a very hot team in the first half. I mean, guys are shooting the ball lights out. But you have to do more to get stops. I mean, tough defense is the key. And if you put pressure on the ball and more bodying up down low, that's going to establish more aggressive tone that might shut them down in the second half.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
And now the third quarter about to get going.
Check out the game for Dunleavy. 10 points, and he's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of 3-pointers.
And you know what? The defenders have that in the back of their minds now. They'll be on him a little tighter.
At the 4, it's Gasol with Noah at the 5. Butler team to Dunleavy on the perimeter, and it's Rose in at the 1 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Bulls have had a great rebounding team for a long time now. Last season was no different.
Yeah, so many categories to measure how well a team rebounds. The Bulls were in the top 3 in almost all of them.
Here's Caldwell Pope following the score by Derrick Rose. There's the pick. Caldwell Pope passes to Ilyasova, and Gasol sends it back. Rose against Jennings. Butler kicks to Dunleavy. Shoots it up. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 4 assists in the game.
As for the Bulls and rebounding, I mean, they were second in the league in winning contested rebounds. That's another data analytics stat for you folks. Second overall in total rebounds, too. That's not how you want to kick off the second half with 3 straight misses.
Noah dishes to Butler. And Brandon Jennings gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
90 seconds now into the second half. Rose passes to Dunleavy. Clock at 4. Here's Butler. That's good from 17 feet away. Butler's got 7 points in the game.
And with the big men the Bulls have, it's easy to see why they rebound so well. But make no mistake, guards and bigs alike rebound well on this Bulls team. Yeah, none too pleased with the play of his team. And you know what? They just need to get things sorted out.
Yeah, you know, there's not a coach around who would be happy with the way his guys have kind of rolled over during this run.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He said a big part of their focus should be on offensive rebounding, to get bodies to the glass at that end of the floor and work hard for second chance points. He was also adamant that they can take advantage of this defense with the use of solid ball screens and the pick-and-roll game. Coach was not wasting any time in altering their strategy here in the second half. And Kevin, he's going to have to hope those changes take effect quickly.
All right, Doris. Gasol. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
And really, the Bulls weathered a lot of injuries last season and still had a good showing in the East. Came away with the 3 seed when many thought they would sink down after missing so many games from key players.
Now here's Drummond. They can't stop the run with that one.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Always important to have that good interior defense.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
And the Bulls did end up with the 3rd seed in the East. 33 of their 50 wins last year, Clark, coming in the Eastern Conference.
But it wasn't an even distribution of those wins for the Bulls. Against their own division in the Southeast, they played .500 basketball. They got their good in-conference record from feasting on the Atlantic teams, taking 16 wins in 18 games against that division.
Rose goes in. Brandon Jennings with the rebound.
4 for 5 so far. That's their first miss of the second half.
Here's Johnson. Noah with the block. That's good. Now here's Rose. 10 points for him. Pass to Noah with his first shot attempt. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 6 assists in the game. Outside Jennings. Ilyasova, a screen on Rose. Here's Drummond. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And it was the screen there, guys, that freed him up as he ran his man into it.
And then it was all acceleration, GA, to the bucket right after that.
Almost a backboard breaker.
And the wide open shot from Rose. That doesn't go either for Rose. Pistons trail by 13. And Meeks kicks to Ilyasova. Drummond dishes to Meeks. And the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
Here's the floater. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
His first personal foul.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness. He's fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
He's off on the first.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Bulls. Doug McDermott comes in for Dunleavy. Detroit also making some changes. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Morris comes in for Johnson. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Brandon Jennings.
And, you know, back to D. Rose, he grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Now here's Jackson following the miss by Derrick Rose. Ilyasova sets a screen for Jackson. They set the pick. Back to Morris. Just 5 to shoot. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Gasol with the steal. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. Outside for Gasol. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. 9 points for Pau Gasol. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for Chicago.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And I also love what they've done defensively in terms of closing out to the shooters, getting a hand up, just making them feel a little uncomfortable on the offensive end.
Brooks checked in for Chicago. Here's the screen. Gibson against Ilyasova. Morris outside. He kicks it to Meeks. Pass to Ilyasova. Clock is at 3. Here's Jackson. Detroit, no good that time either.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Here's Jackson. And 1:01 left here in the third quarter. Morris outside. And Meeks kicks to Jackson. There's the pick. And the wide open shot from Morris. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Morris has got 6 points.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Brooks misses.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
Jackson kicks to Meeks. And it's off from three-point range. Butler passes to Gibson. Rebounded by the Pistons.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Meeks dishes to Jackson. Near the three-point line, it's Morris. Off target from the wing.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Bulls lead by 14. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Chicago leading by 14. On the court for the Pistons, Jennings runs the point with Jackson flanking him. Caldwell Pope out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Drummond in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Up and over the defender with one hand. Facebook.
Looked like the D had a good chance to cut him off until he made his move to the rack.
Yeah, that's just a really nice job of taking it right to the rim.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Johnson, he's checked in for Reggie Jackson. And Chicago shooting extremely well. 62% on the night to this point. Brooks kicks to Gibson. No good. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Outside Jennings. There's the feed to Caldwell Pope. Morris a screen in the corner. Drummond with it. And Caldwell Pope now atop the key. 6 on the shot clock. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Kirk Heinrich.
And guys, you know, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, this guy screams potential at you. I mean, perfect size and length and speed for a 2-guard. He plays both ends. Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
On the topic of Caldwell Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. Same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development.
Mirotić's shot is off. Pistons trail by 16. Pushing it up. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Some on-the-fly coaching right there from their leader.
And that's what you got to do. Never be afraid to remind someone what their role is. And they're a lot better off because of how vocal he is.
That's good from Jennings.
What a performance from Jennings here. He has 8 points, then his huge assist tally makes it all the more impressive.
You know what? He's the catalyst. He's the reason why this team plays with such harmony. And if his passing continues, they are going to be dangerous.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Noah comes in for Pau Gasol. And it's Rose in for Aaron Brooks.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
Mirotić has a wide-open look. Money from the wing.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Jennings passes to Morris. Drummond with a screen on Gibson. Morris into the lane. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
2 open that time. Made it look too easy. And it's 7 points for Nikola Mirotić.
And he's looking to really stretch this lead out, even with the cushion they have, still letting it fly from long range.
Jennings can't get it to go. The Bulls leading by 19. Rose kicks to Heinrich. The dish now to Noah. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Rose passes to Heinrich. Puts one up from 19. Rose can't hit.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
Johnson attacking. And it's Drummond with the jam.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this one.
Now here's Gibson. Out to the right wing. Heinrich dishes to Mirotić. Good, and Heinrich gets the assist. 9 points for Nikola Mirotic. Pistons trail by 19. Now Jennings. Johnson outside. And Drummond kicks to Johnson. And there's the pass to Jennings. Top of the key. Off the left rim and out.
Well, that's a very low percentage shot. Not good basketball at all. One he probably should have passed on.
Heinrich kicks to Rose. He feeds it to Gibson. Heinrich outside. And a miss there on the triple. Pistons have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Kicks to Caldwell Pope. Morris outside on the wing. Johnson. Outside Jennings. Morris with the screen for Jennings. That freed up. Nice work off the pick.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
Chicago leading by 17. Heinrich with it. Guarded now by Morris. To the wing on the left. Gibson passes to Rose. They get it back. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And really, I like the fact that even with the big lead, they never coasted.
To me, that's a sign of a really good team, Greg, because
they can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
When you have a lead, it's all about continuing to execute. Do what you do and stay true to that. And I like that aggressiveness and full speed ahead kind of attack that they have.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They trail by 19. 1:57 left in the game. Some changes for Chicago. Tony Snell comes in for Joakim Noah. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. And a switcher also for Detroit. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Morris. Here's the screen. Here's Caldwell Pope, guarded by Heinrich. Shoots the three. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all would apply.
In the corner, Drummond with it. Johnson outside. Down low. Shoots from 12. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Bulls.
Clark, the differential in assists led to a lot of open looks, and it also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
They made the defense adjust by moving the ball like that, and there was no answer for it.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Pau Gasol. He was really important under the basket, making the plays down low and getting position to pull in rebounds.
And so here is Chicago following the bucket by the Pistons. Jennings against Brooks. Gibson with the screen on Jennings. And Mirotic has it in the corner. And here's Brooks from outside. Good! And the Bulls lead by 18.
And that's just a little more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate a W.
Well, let the party start. The celebration begins, and they're going to let their guys hear it.
Now here's Johnson. Here's Drummond. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound. And once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. And here is Brooks. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Outside Gibson. Shot off the screen. Knocked loose. Tries to keep it alive. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
Yeah, they were the superior team in every department, in every category to me, Kevin. I know their fans loved it and appreciated it.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Pau, congratulations on the win. Tell us about the approach that the team took tonight in maximizing its effectiveness on the offensive end.
I think we just concentrate and we work hard until the last second of every possession, and I think that's something that we want to continue to do and be consistent with. And we're happy that today we were able to fight through everything and still come out with a great win.
Congratulations, pal. Thanks for the time. Guys?
Doris, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. So long and good night, everyone.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Pau Gasol.
Boy, how many times are we going to see Pau Gasol come out and control a basketball game like he did tonight? This guy who for years has been a mastermind of the low post game. Points, rebounds, assists. You're going to get it all from Pau Gasol on the block, not to mention his veteran leadership.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show, but not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.